Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Cole with Speak from the Heart, and today I have a very special guest, a former D1 baseball player for Seton Hall and a current second baseman for the Texas Tailgaters for the famous Banana Ball League, Jonathan Sunshine Luders. So, welcome to the show, man. I'm excited to have you here.
He got some of it too. Jake Skoll, what a trick play! Jonathan Sunshine Luders, invent your own. He is as tricky as we've seen anyone in Banana Ball.
The innovation of trick plays, the evolution of our sport. One of the best trick plays you'll ever see.
Cole, thank you for having me on. I'm honored. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, man, I'm super excited. Roommate of Ron, he spoke very highly of you, so I'm ready to get into this, dude. It's really awesome that you're here and doing this with me. So, you grew up in Lynnfield, Massachusetts, where you first, baseball came, and you're playing Little League. You're first learning how to play, learn how to throw, learn how to swing, all that stuff. And you described how playing with friends and feeling the buzz of, everyday game day and the community that made you fall in love with the sport was what it was all about. And so looking back, what was it about those early experiences that shaped both your passion for baseball and who you are as a person?
Yeah, I think it was the fact that it was just fun. I really enjoyed it. I got to be around my friends and play a game in baseball, Little League at that time. And not just Little League too, but soccer and basketball and all the recreation sports that were in the Linfield community. And I give Linfield and the youth sports community a lot of credit because they did a really good job at, in my opinion, making it competitive, making it fun, and helping us to just grow with teamwork from any sport and also just to obviously help us be the best people and athletes we could possibly be. And I had a lot of fun. I think my friends and my teammates had a lot of fun as well. And those are core memories that we have from Little League all the way to high school. So
Yeah.
that's where it all started, man. Yeah, that's where it started.
Yeah, that's super cool. And I think we sometimes take for granted like the foundation of, where we learn how to be a human, how to be a baseball player, how to be a good person. Like those people are super important. Throughout your journey, you had mentors and coaches that have, played a big role in your life and your baseball career from early on. You had Matt Giamarco in Little League. You had Coach O'Brien in high school and Coach Shepard at Seton Hall. So how did these coaches shape the way you see the game, how you lead, and I guess how you pursue life beyond the game?
Man, those are great names. So maybe hearing those names make me smile, each for their own unique way, because I was playing under them for different time periods of my life. Little League with Coach Giamarco, high school with Coach O'Brien, and then college ball with Coach Shepard. Man, I guess I'll start with Coach Giamarco. That was my first real experience, I guess, playing team baseball. And again, he just made it fun. Like you gotta you gotta have fun when you're playing a game. And if it's not fun, sure, there's gonna be hard times. There's gonna be times when you're not performing well, but at the end of the day, it's a game, and you gotta have fun with it.
Right.
And he kept it like that. He kept it as a fun game where we could grow together. He's a really good coach and helped us with teamwork at an early age. And I'm sure there's more things that I appreciate now in him as a coach than I knew when I was playing for him at that young age. But he was awesome. Such a good first coach to have in Little League, and then
Yeah.
progress on throughout the Little League years and into middle school and high school. And that's where I got to Coach O'Brien. Coach O'Brien, he he is old school. That is the best way to put it. He had everyone had to wear the socks 6 inches high.
Yeah.
I had to have his long flow in high school. I had to cut it for baseball season because it was all Yankee style. Had to have the hair all
Yeah.
nice. And man, another really good coach in his own way, where he he got the team to bond like no other coach I had, because if one guy did something wrong meaning like you missed a bunt, like in
Yeah.
practice or whatever it is,
Hmm.
like the team would run. And it was like it wasn't about the running, and that sounds like harsh nowadays, but it really wasn't that bad. And in fact, it brought us closer together.
Right.
And we had some amazing teams in high school. Every year we went to our sectional final my 4 years. And that's not because of my doing, but it's because of the team and who Coach O'Brien was as a coach. And he really helped bring a team together, and he is just so funny in his old school ways too, and we all
Yeah.
love him, and he was really special. And then I was lucky enough to get opportunity to play in college and play at Seton Hall. And then we had
Yeah.
Coach Shepard. And college ball is a different animal. And I think the thing that I appreciated most about Coach Shep was that he cared about, and this is for all my coaches too, but he for me being the first time being away from home and being in an environment that I wasn't really used to, not being in Linfield, and no longer being the best player. Throughout my like Lynnfield days, I was more or less one of the better players. I mean, that's all I
Right.
really knew in my community. But now I'm going to a really good Division I school, and I'm a freshman. And man, I was not. I was the bottom of the totem pole. I was not the best player whatsoever. And the thing that I appreciate about Coach Shep was that he valued me as a human being as well as a player from my freshman year, and that kept me going in some capacities
Yeah.
because man, I think feeling valued, no matter your role or no matter how much playing time you are, what year you are, being valued as a human being and also a player is super important.
Yeah.
Super important. And for the head coach of a really good baseball program to value me where I wasn't really valuing myself my freshman year was meant a lot and kept me going at times that I didn't even realize. So for Coach Shep to do that, not just to me, for a lot of other guys as well, and that come through his program, that was really special. So
Yeah.
all three coaches in their own light were amazing, amazing mentors to me and great coaches. And I've kind of taken bits and pieces from each of them of how do I lead and be a teammate today because I got to see them firsthand how they've done their years of coaching and how they've
Yeah.
gone about coaching their team. So they're really special places in my heart for sure.
Yeah. And that's awesome. I think that's super cool how he just kind of like instilled that confidence in you as a person. And then that just kind of it segues into being a player. Like you want to be good for him and you want to do your best for him. And I think it's so cool to kind of have that, I love you, man. Like you're gonna do great things. And that gives you just the opportunity to have that grit and that perseverance to even though you are, I'm sure you thought that you were on the bottom, but in reality you were a really good player and
Yeah.
just hard on yourself.
No,
But
I was most definitely not anywhere towards the top my freshman year. I was definitely at the bottom. I don't sugarcoat that at all.
yeah,
And I'm sure there are a lot of other programs that it probably would have been a see you later after the fall or after your
yeah.
freshman year. Like,
But hey, man,
man,
he saw something in you, and
yeah,
and
yep,
even as a person or even as a player, like he saw you what you could be, and you had a very successful career there, and now look at you now.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's super cool, just having that belief. It's just someone in your corner to
exactly.
believe in you. So I think
Right.
that's super cool. But we can go on to our careers have uncertainty. I think everybody goes through some sort of adversity at some point, and I don't think not everyone's career is going to be a straight line. So COVID interrupted your freshman season, and later you faced a serious knee injury that made you question your future in baseball. And so, in those moments of uncertainty, how has your faith helped you guide through those decisions and give you the confidence to keep going?
Yeah, I think as a Christian, which is means a lot because there's a lot of things that go along with being a Christian, but you believe the Holy Spirit's within you. And I like to think the Holy Spirit's guiding me in my decisions, and I can hopefully deny my flesh and the selfish desires, and you can let the Holy Spirit guide, and the Spirit is
Yeah,
good. And I know we were talking about this a little bit beforehand, but I'll run through the story again because I think it's relevant to this. I didn't know after college, I didn't know if I wanted to continue playing baseball or not. I knew there was something in me that did, but I was looking around my outside circumstances and seeing some friends and
hmm
what they were doing. And so I just finished up college, went back home to Massachusetts, and I was playing in a summer league men's team just to stay in shape. I was going to go play in a league called the MLB Draft League later on that summer in July. Basically, a last chance for grad students and seniors to get seen
yeah,
by scouts after the draft happened in July. And I unfortunately hurt my knee, not a crazy amount. Like I had patellar tendonitis. I think um I think I was out for like a month and a half kind of thing. But I
yeah,
probably could have pushed through if I needed to, but there was no real benefit to doing that where if scouts are seeing me at 100%, I'm not really doing myself any justice.
right,
So I figured get healthy. Next year I'd play indie ball. But I still wasn't sure about that. I still wasn't totally convinced. And what kind of gave me the confidence to keep going, and I'll tie us back into the faith afterwards. To me, was when at Seton Hall, backing us up a little bit, I asked a mentor, John Morris, he's 10-year big league player, I believe, and I asked him, I said, "Hey, John, how did you know you were done playing baseball?" Because I was having these thoughts in my head. I'm like, man, I don't know whether or not to keep going and whether or not to play indie ball or get my career started. And he goes, Jonathan, you need to be 100% sure that you are done playing baseball. If you got a few percentage points left in you, like go play your indie ball, like go
Yeah.
play, because you're only going to look back and regret that you didn't. And that gave me the confidence to go and do that because I allowed myself to go do that.
Yeah.
'Cause I had friends that were really smart and doing good jobs, making good money, and I was comparing myself to them, and comparison's a thief of joy.
Hmm.
And I said, man, I could be doing that. I know I'd probably be good at doing that or doing sales or doing this. And I had to take a step back and understand that that's not my path right now. I knew that deep down, like that's not my path right
Yeah.
now. And you're gonna probably I was probably putting more external pressure on myself because this is my social group and this is what people are doing right now. I should be going and doing that.
Yeah.
And I'm really grateful that I didn't fall into that one, but then two, that banana ball came about because that has blended so many things I really enjoy doing all together. And if I could have probably easily just got a sales job and been working and that would have been it, but that would have been as fulfilling. So in terms of faith, I didn't really know what my next steps were going to be.
Yeah.
And I had some good conversations with my dad. My dad's been a really good spiritual mentor to me. He's been awesome. And just talking to him and understand that we don't need to know everything. And he gave me a really good analogy for this in that every once in a while you have these God moments where the picture is like revealed to you and like you feel like, oh, like this all makes sense.
Yeah.
But then it's flipped back around, it's upside down, and
Hmm.
then you're going dot to dot. It was a connected dots analogy. Sometimes you're connecting the dots and you don't know what the picture looks like, and every once in a while it gets flipped around in reverse and you see it and it makes sense. But then
Wow.
right away afterwards, it's flipped back around, you're still just going dot to dot. So it's
Yep.
kind of the same thing there. I was at that point where I was going dot to dot, and then Banana Ball happens, have a great season. It's a little more. The pitcher's revealed, but then it flips right back around. You're going dot to dot. So
Yeah.
I think in understanding that one, we don't need to understand fully right now, but you need to have the faith to continue on, whether for me doing Banana Ball or not. That's another thing
Right.
too. Banana Ball can be an idol so easily, but
Yes.
it's just to continue, man, just going dot to dot as I am. That's what the analogy I got from my dad. And I think it's been a helpful thing with my faith.
Yeah, that's super cool. And I think it's cool that like it's kind of like you're checking yourself. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I'm not gonna make this, an idol for me. I'm just gonna continue to pursue my faith and do it with humility and being humble. And that's awesome, bro. That's super exciting. And I think that analogy that's sick. I'm definitely gonna
yeah,
look back on this and be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna take this and use it for myself too. So that's awesome that you're showing that you told me that. I think that's really cool.
yeah. No, it's been
Um,
helpful to me. Yeah, it's been
yeah.
good.
So you're not only known just for your skills, like we're also people. And I feel like it's hard to kind of realize that, like, when you're in it, when you're in college, you're like, this is baseball. Like, this is all I am. This is like, it becomes an identity thing. And you are known for your skills and your energy. I mean, I saw you doing like whatever you were taking ground balls the other day. I saw a reel that you were like kicking the ball up with your foot all the way to first. Like that was an unreal clip. And then I saw in like the comments, they're like, I'm not gonna get anybody out with this, maybe stilts, but bro, that was sick. I mean, you got the skills, you have the energy, you bring the joy, and I think that you bring it to every game. I've gone back and watched clips of you, man. Like you're a special player, you got it. And
Thank you.
Ron mentioned that you were God fearing, and I think taking a step back from the player side of things, I even told Ron on the last episode, like we're much longer, Christians than we are baseball players. And I think it's cool to get that compliment from somebody that you're God fearing. And so, how do you present your personal values and faith, and how does that influence like the ways that you connect with the fans, your teammates, and kind of just your community in general?
Yeah, this has been a growth period for me for sure in terms of my walk with Christ. I would say earlier on in college and before that, I would say like probably like a lukewarm Christian. Like I believe I was baptized, like confirmed in the church, like went to church growing up, but I didn't understand, I guess, the weight of being a Christian. Like there's a lot that goes in. It's simple, but there's a lot that goes into it. Like you can,
Mhm.
as long as you believe that Jesus did what he did and he died for you in the cross, like you're going to heaven.
Yeah.
But man, there's a lot of things that say like, hey, like what's the fruit? Like what shows that you're saying what's the fruit and are your actions lining up with that, essentially?
Yeah.
And understanding more about sin, and I mean it's more deeper stuff here. I didn't mean to go down this route like this,
Right.
but what I'm trying to get at is if the way I present myself and the way that I communicate with others, the way I go play the game, I want to be a reflection of like, oh man, that's the way Jesus would interact with people. That's the way Jesus
Yeah.
would go compete if he were competing.
Exactly.
And I know that sounds like a little bit of a stretch, like seeing Jesus competing, but that you want to be a good reflection of Christ in your conversations with everyone. And I that comes to the field with win or loss, how you go win or loss. Your character is the most important thing,
Hmm.
and how you handle losing, how you handle winning, and just reflecting it like Christ would, and understanding more, like reading more, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of really good red text
Oh
there,
yeah.
and the way he walked this earth, and there's some things that are counterintuitive. You almost wouldn't like love your enemies. You're like, what? Like love your enemies? Like man, like
Hmm.
what does that look like? And I mean that can come onto the field too. Like sure, like you don't gotta like love your competitor, but like, man, as a human being, like when outside the field, like that's different. Like that's a human being. You don't have to
Yeah.
hate your enemy like that. Like, oh,
Right.
I don't like that guy on the field. It's like, no, at the end of the day, he's a human being with a mother and a father probably, and he has a family. Like, I don't know. I can go deeper into that, but I think just understanding you want to be a good reflection of Christ when you're competing on the field and you're interacting with other people.
Yeah. And I think it goes back to the simple adage of what would Jesus do? I remember they made the WWJD bracelets, and I would wear those around
Yeah.
when I was younger. And I don't think you really understood that until you're here where you are now. And I think that was really cool what you said about like how would Jesus compete and how he looks at his opponents. Like he's not like I hate them. Like I wanted to demolish them and put them in the ground. Like I'm going to do whatever I can to just beat them. Like I think that's so cool how because I used to have a conflict with that. I'm like, how do I view my competition? Like how am I supposed to view these people? Like do I hate them? Am I supposed to be angry at them? Like do I have to have some sort of like conviction to be like, yeah, I'm better than you? Like you know what I mean? And I turned to the latter of like what you just said of treating them like, I'm, and this is competition between me and you, but I'm going to do my best. I'm going to do this for the Lord and going to show my talents and everything that I've learned through him and my talent and my faith will be shown through this game and it's just who I am. And I mean you wear a cross on the chest and it doesn't mean anything unless you actually show who you are as a player and a person. I think showing Christ even in whenever you play, I think that's super important. And honestly, I think it's a hard line to find. What you said was perfect. I think that's something that I need to do a better job of. But just
Oh yeah.
finding that middle ground of being a good Christian, but also being a good competitor. So that was super cool what you said. I think that's really cool.
Yeah. I think we all can continue to work on that. We're all not perfect with it. I've had some really good examples down here. Like even just
Yeah,
chatting with Ron every once in a while, this type of stuff. Ron's such the Holy Spirit flows through him. Like he's so even keeled up and
yeah,
down. Like he doesn't really phase him, or at least I've never seen it that way. And
yeah.
that speaks a lot to his character.
Right.
And there's other guys here too that know so much about Jesus and what he did, and I can learn from them. Like, man, that guy, like, he's a little different. Like, wonder he just seems like nothing phases him. And there's a lot
Yeah,
of those guys in Banana Land, and understand that like Banana Land, it's awesome, but it's not everything.
yeah,
And seeing those guys and the way they walk and carry themselves, I'm like, man, there's something admirable about that.
yeah.
And
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah, good to learn from those guys for sure.
Yeah. So that's awesome. I think it's also important to kind of realize like and just having to take in from those people. Like I talked to Ron about this too, is just like coach Rack talking to the players. Like even having like player and fan Bible studies, like that is unreal. That's like a whole nother level of like fans first. And I'll get into the fans first stuff that y'all do, but that's That's unreal. I always loved that idea. What Jesse Cole talks about, just being, it's all about you. It's all about you guys. It's whatever you guys want us to do. Like, I'm not gonna. He was talking about like taking like a brand deal with somebody, like, but like to do advertising or whatever. But he's like, no, man, like this is for you guys, and like that's so cool. But we'll get into that in a little bit. But has there ever been, moments in your career? I know we touched on it just a little bit, like overcoming, your knee injury, landing it with the Texas Tailgaters after all this time, having that uncertainty with, if you're going to get drafted or signed. I guess the future of baseball. Has there ever been, a moment where you felt God's guidance or presence leading you in a specific direction? And could you maybe tell me like a specific time, or what exactly had happened that made you feel that way?
The thing that I thought of first was my sophomore year at Seton Hall. We were in the non-conference play in the game of the year, and we're at Davidson University or college, Davidson. It's in North
Mm-hmm.
Carolina. And we're at the hotel before the game, I think, one of the games. And for reference, my sophomore year, it's my freshman year athletically because of COVID. I was not hitting whatsoever. I was a defensive replacement. I was only getting on base by walking and getting hit by pitches. That was it. I was probably batting under 100 at this point. No exaggeration. Probably actually batting under 100. And our third baseman, well, before I say that, I was on the phone with my dad, my mom, my dad being a very spiritual man and then knowing a lot, being very wise. I was just telling him how frustrated I was, and this is the first time in baseball in college I was really struggling because before that, like it's always been, I mean, for the most part, like I was naturally like I was pretty good for high school, but then in college I just got humbled real quick, and I was putting so much pressure on
Mm-hmm.
myself, and baseball was everything. It was definitely an idol. And I was talking to my dad. My dad gave me another really good analogy. He said, like, you're holding on to like the rope, like so tight,
Yeah.
like right now, or you hold on to the bat so tight, and you can't. It's like trying to hold on the waters and the kind of same kind of thing. You can't hold on the water super tight. Like you need to kind of hold it gently to
Yeah.
hold it. Same kind of the bat. Like, you can't swing the bat really well by holding it super tight. You kind of have
Yeah.
to be loose a little bit. It's like hold on the baseball that way. Like you can't hold on to it super tight and it be everything. You live and die and you ride the emotional roller
Mm-hmm.
coaster of man, like I'm doing great, I'm doing great. If I'm not doing good, my value's in that.
Yeah.
And this is stuff that's already been known and I already know, like, hey, don't put your identity in baseball. But at that point in time, it definitely was. I struggled hard because of that. And after that conversation, I think I had a realization like, man, like this is everything. Like I don't know what's gonna happen, like, but we'll go from here. And our third baseman, he was more of an offensive third baseman, and I was more of a defensive third baseman. And I got an opportunity to play that weekend, and I finally got my first hit, like jam shot knock, like up the middle. But as a baseball player, you already know you just need to get one, and then you can start
Yep.
rolling. And then
Exactly right.
and ever since then, I played third base, and then the third baseman there, he DH. He was a nasty hitter, and it worked out. And
Yeah.
but man, like there was some time that I was definitely holding on to baseball too tight. And now in banana ball, I have to realize the same thing. Like, kind of relearn the same lesson. Banana ball is great. It's a new and shiny thing. It's awesome, but it is not everything.
Mm.
And that's probably the best way to perform the best is understanding it. It's not everything.
Yeah. And that's super important. And honestly, that's a lesson I think most younger baseball players tend to face and have to learn. I think my time at EKU, that was all that I was. It was so important to me. Baseball
Mhm.
was just everything. And I held on to that dream so tightly that it was actually hurting me more to, view it that way. And dude, like you just said, like being loose, having fun, enjoying the moments that you get, uh, is what makes it good. And also you play your best and you have the best time. And when you're just being loose, and that's super important that I think people need to realize that, I don't think the harder that you hold on to your dream is going to make it easier for you. And if anything, it makes it tougher. So that's really important. Um, but so tell me about your first kind of call, like you felt called to banana ball. Did you ever feel like you were what made you want to give it a shot? Kind of talk to me about the tryout. And you can, walk me through like the moment or like the feeling that you had regarding that decision to go and give banana ball a try.
Sure. Yeah, I'll give you the full story. So I was out with that knee thing, the patellar tendonitis thing, for like a month and a half. And it's July. I lived up in Massachusetts back home, and or I was living there at the time. And we're on Cape Cod, just hanging out, summer vacation kind of thing, right after college. And the party animals and the bananas were on TV at playing at Fenway Park. And
Yeah.
I was watching this game. I'm like, man, like, what is this? Like, I didn't have social media until my grad year at college. I wasn't really very active, and I didn't really understand what this was. I heard of them, but I was watching the game like, it looks like baseball. It's not quite baseball. It's not like
Yeah.
Fenway Park. That's pretty sweet.
Hmm.
So it definitely caught my eye. And my mom pulled up the application and said, "Hey, you should fill this out. Like they got an application." I'm looking through the application, like, man, like this looks awesome. Like special talents and different things like that. I'm like, I think I
Yeah.
can stand out and do this. But I didn't submit the application yet. So I'm filling it out. I'm like, all right, I want to do a good job with this. Like, take this seriously.
Yeah.
And as if God had heard me, on my very inactive Instagram, their recruiting coordinator, Barry Aldridge, DM'd me and said, "Hey, Jonathan, we think you'd be a good fit for Banana Ball. Let's hop on a phone call and chat." I was
That's
like,
awesome.
how does he even know that I'm interested in this? I had just come across
Wow.
this 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So hop on the phone with Barry, and Barry and I just chatted up for a little bit. And he said, "Yeah, like submit the application and we'll invite you to a tryout in September, October. We'll have regional tryouts." And I was like, "Great." And I said, "How did you even know you like that I was like interested in this?" Like, because I was interested, and then you texted me or DM me, and I was like, "Man, like that's like the universe telling me. That's like God telling me, man, like this is like how'd you know?" Like,
Yeah.
and
That's so cool.
he said you were one of the hardest you were the hardest person to strike out in 2024 in college baseball, and we want more guys to put the ball in play. I said, "Okay, that sounds great. Like I can do that."
Hmm.
And I said, "Well, what's the deal with social media? Like, I don't really have it. Like, is that required? Like, what's the deal?" He goes, "It's not really required. It's more like the expectation, though." I said, "Okay,
Yeah.
great. I'll start posting stuff." So come August 1st, I started posting videos of me hitting on the unicycle, and they had no idea about the unicycle whatsoever.
Yeah.
And that was a journey of me learning to hit on the unicycle for that next month or so, and learning because I know how to unicycle when I was younger. I had an awesome gym teacher, Miss Robertson. Shout out to her. She taught me how to ride forward on the unicycle, and ever since then,
Hmm.
I know how to do it. But it wasn't until this past summer I had to learn how to stay in place. They call it idling. So going
Yeah.
back and then I'll eventually holding it back. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have to eventually hold it back. So you need your arms for balance at first,
Yeah.
then hold the bat, and then eventually swinging on the unicycle. And they loved it. We got invited to the tryout, made contact on the unicycle, and then did well. And all like it all went sweet. And then pretty soon before you know it, like in November, I got a call saying like, "Hey, we want you on the newest team, the Texas Tailgaters." And I'm like, "Let's
That's
ride. Let's do
awesome.
this. This is great." So that was pretty cool. That was
Yeah.
pretty neat that all worked out then. And if I had been playing indie ball, I probably wouldn't have tried out,
Yeah.
because that would have been during the indie ball season, or indie ball would have just been ending.
Right.
And I probably would not have practiced to idle on the unicycle and to learn to
Yeah.
hit. So it- things happen like that. And sure, I probably would have done fine indie ball and done that path and it would have been good. But
Yeah.
man, I'm very happy that this is the path that worked out.
Oh yeah, for sure. So how many hits have you had on the unicycle so far?
I've made contact every time during the season. I am
Yeah.
2 for 25, I believe. It's along those lines.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's completely fine if you're putting it in play. That's
Yeah.
the most important. That's so cool. I mean, two hits though. Come on, like I don't think anyone else can do that. I saw one guy
Yeah.
though. I did see one guy in the draft that had a was on a unicycle other than you.
Oh, yeah. He was this
Yeah.
big Ben Parker, I think is his name. Big
Yeah, that
Jack
dude's
guy.
huge.
And he
He's
rode the
jacked.
unicycle to the plate. Yeah. I thought that was really funny. Like, good for him for doing that, because that
Yeah,
stands out. Like, it's different. Like, that's what's great
it is.
about
Yes.
banana ball. Like, you want to stand out. Whatever is normal, do the exact opposite. Like riding a unicycle to the plate. Like, who does that? And
Yeah.
not, I guess besides me, but there you want to do things that are different and that
Right.
stand out and bring attention. And I give him props for doing that at tryout. Like, that's awesome. Really, really
Yeah.
good.
I'll keep going in that direction. So baseball is already like extremely hard as it is. And you incorporated something that's also extremely hard, which is unicycling.
Oh, it's a base
no
hit!
way!
Are you kidding me? He's going to abandon the unicycle and chug it down the first baseline, going first to third is Zach Watson.
That is easily the best barrel that I have seen him get on the unicycle.
So talk to me about like your training with that. Like I envision kind of like a switch hitter, you hit righty and lefty, like, you're getting practice for both. Do you have like a practice session for unicycle hitting? Like, are you are you like, okay, I'm gonna actually hit for real, and then I'm gonna get on the unicycle for like an hour and see what happens?
Yeah, my training sessions were mostly hitting on 2 feet. And then when I would hit on the unicycle, we usually the last round of BP. I would just
Okay.
take 5 to 10 swings. But before I practiced a ton on the unicycle because I'd never done it before. So I need to get a ton of reps of understanding, all right, how am I gonna stay in the batter's box? How am I gonna balance? When do I need to be swinging the bat? How do I need to
Yeah.
time it up? So I had a lot of reps. And I had a theory that my I was unicycle swinging so much at one point that I think I need to like relearn how to incorporate my lower half into the
Yeah.
swing because it's slightly obviously my legs are working to keep the unicycle going, but
Yeah.
I'm not swinging the exact same way. I'm more my upper body is turning and going.
Right.
So I think with my swing on 2 feet, I need to relearn how to use my legs, my glutes a little better because now my quads are super engaged always on the unicycle, but
Wow.
my glutes and the hammies need to be working a little more. So that was
Dude.
two different swings, but it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it so much. Like
Yeah.
everyone's reaction is my favorite part, especially fans that see it for the first time. Like,
Yeah.
what in the world? Like you're here on a unicycle, and it's good for the sport. It brings attention,
Yeah.
and people are like, oh, it's a unicycle guy. It's a unicycle guy. Like that's such an honor. It's like
Yeah.
it's probably like an actor being called their acting name, not their real name in
Yeah.
some ways. You're like, man, like that's so and so from whatever movie, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
that's the unicycle guy, or that's Sunshine. It's like that's
Yeah.
pretty cool. So.
Yeah. That is cool. I think I've only known like one other person in my life that has unicycled. So I mean, that's not like a common skill to have. So that's a really unique thing you can bring. And yeah, that's awesome. And I think it's cool that I think it's cool that you're learning like different swing feels based on like they're like, hey man, like so how did you learn how to incorporate your lower half? Well, I was on my unicycle. Like I think that's so sick. Like maybe you have that like crazy swing idea or like something that changes the way you swing and you're just like, yeah, I just needed to get better with the unicycle. It reminds me of like basketball players like trying to strengthen their ankles by doing like tap dancing or taking up ballerina or something like that. You know what I mean? So that's
Right,
super cool.
or cross training.
I think that's awesome. Yeah, so let's talk about when you first started playing in these big stadiums, these MLB stadiums. You're playing in front of all these people. You're playing where MLB players were. Probably more people than you've ever played in front of your whole entire life. You got legends that have played on the infield that where you were. And many athletes they kind of rely on their mental toughness. Just kind of sit back and be like, I just have that heartbeat, like just relax, like it's all good. But you've also talked about confidence and purpose. So I think it's important to ask you the question of how does your relationship with God shape your mindset, especially in front of such a big crowd? How does he kind of like your presence in God calm you down and ground you?
Yeah, I think it goes that what I said before that baseball or bandball is not everything.
Yeah.
Like, sure, it's really neat that you're playing in front of 40,000 people, and I'll give a little side story to that. I think I was more nervous for our opening series, and I was playing in front of Cincinnati in front of 40,000
Wow.
people, just because like the game, you don't know what it's going to be like for
Yeah.
sure. Granted, we played a few scrimmages beforehand. But once the sold out stadium there happened after that, I was good. And I don't think the big league stadium was as phasing. I don't think that
Yeah.
makes sense. And sure, it's much louder, it's much bigger stadium,
Yeah.
but the game is still the same. And I'm not sure if that was just me or if that was common or not, but that's the feel I had. But going back to how my relationship with the Lord grounds me. I think you look around those stadiums and you see, man, these are all these people here to watch us play. We
Yeah.
do a prayer before the game, and every time we do that prayer, I'm like, man, this is an opportunity for people to ask the questions like, what are they doing? What are they doing?
Yeah.
Like when they're down there. And to what you were saying before about Ron, like asking questions, like that's what you want, like asking questions, like to understand, like what are they doing? Why are they all on their knees? And are they praying down there? Like, why is
Yeah.
that? And yes, ask questions. And the Lord can use us in many ways. He's definitely using us through Banana Ball to
Yeah,
reach
for
more
sure.
people. And that's what I think about. And that's grounding to me. It's like this, we're all servants at the end of the day to the Lord in the best way. And we sure we're playing the game, or it's awesome. There's a lot of spotlight on us, but I think we perform our best when we're kind of redirecting the spotlight back up to the Lord.
Yeah.
And that kind of takes the pressure off you. And yeah, I think it's pretty. You do kind of smile about it all because you just realize like you're playing in a big league stadium. It's awesome. There's 40,000
Yeah.
people there, and you might think it's about you and that you're there and playing. It's like no, like, you have an opportunity to glorify the Lord, and what a privilege that is.
Yeah. And with this platform that you have in Banana Ball and like the social media aspect, I mean, you're reaching millions of people, and that's nuts. And you have the ability now to inspire fans and young athletes around the world. Like I have never met you in person, but here we are talking. And like it's just that's such a cool thing that you can do now. And so how do you hope that your journey encourages all those people that you meet, encourages the young fans that come up to you and they're like, "Oh my gosh, unicycle guy!" Like, how do you hope that your journey encourages those people?
I wouldn't say like my journey, because maybe some of them don't know my journey, but I would say in
Yeah,
the interaction I have right there is what's super important. One of the things in Banana Ball is they say the most important fan at the game is the one right in front of you.
yeah,
And whether that's before the game or after the game, it doesn't matter during the game. And after the game, when we have these post-game signings in the plaza, people can run up to you and say, "Oh, unicycle guy," or "Oh, sunshine," or whatever.
yeah,
That is such a critical moment, in my opinion, to
hmm,
one, create fans, but then two, how you present yourself as an individual. And you can take it from a faith perspective of man, like there's probably some people that don't know anything about the Lord. They might be a little, they could be a little tipsy from the night if they're adults, but how you
yeah,
handle yourself with all people and just
hmm,
shining the light, that's their first impression of you.
yeah,
So I want to make sure that I'm giving them the best experience possible.
yep,
Whether it is the first fan that I signed for, or the last one, I
yeah,
want to bring the energy. And there was a time like earlier on in the season, just like you work out and you get stronger and stronger, you build up
yeah,
conditioning to when you work out over time. I would sign at first, I'd be really gassed after signing
yeah,
because I had so many, my social battery was drained. I had so many
yeah.
interactions, and I'm a very extroverted individual. But as the season went on, I built up my social battery, got a lot stronger, and I was able to interact with
That's
tons of
awesome.
people throughout the game. And I was definitely tired afterwards, but I got
Yes,
way better and got to have better conversations throughout the entirety of the night. And
that's awesome.
you just want to match their energy. You want to have them have the best experience possible and the best view of you because that's their first impression of you
Yep.
most often. And you want it to be a really good one for yourself and also for Brandon Ball.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And that's so crucial. And I think a lot of people's first in impressions of Christianity and Jesus is through the people that they meet. And
Mm, good
like
point.
there's so many people that I've met that you know, their first introduction to Jesus was through our conversation. And so that's super important, like what you just said about your first impression and how important that is, because that you may be the first and you may be the last person that they get to encounter Jesus with. So
Mm,
carrying
yeah.
yourself with that, uh, type of energy and that type of purpose, I think that is so critical. And I think you're doing a great job. And I could imagine, like, I actually have a question. Like, do you think that after a game, like, have you ever like played, didn't play great, and you're like, dang, here I go, like, and then you're just kind of going through the motions, signing everything. You just kind of check yourself, be like, okay, no, I got to lock in. Like, this is for them. Like, I have to do this for them.
It's kind of ironic because I had a game like that in Richmond, Virginia. No hits. I don't think I made any trick plays. Just not a great game by any means. Did not help the
Yeah.
team. I'm not sure if we won or lost the game. I can't remember. But this is the game that I had a ton of family at, a ton of family,
Yeah.
because I have a lot of family in the Maryland and Virginia area. And after the game, I was upset, but as soon as I saw my family, it just naturally switched. Like my energy switched. I didn't need to fake anything.
Yeah.
And now with the fans and understanding how important your interactions is with them, no matter if it's a 0 for 4, 4 for 4, the best game or the worst game, it just you just turn on at least this is the way I look on it. It's just like, hey, like that game's over. You have an opportunity now, like a new game. It's a new game.
Right.
You have an opportunity now to be the best, show the best face you possibly can, and
Yeah.
interact with the fans the best you can. And there's a lot of value in that. And
Mm.
if you, and I'm not saying I'm perfect at it, but if you let the game carry over to interaction with the fans, man, you're turning off some people, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I think it says a lot about an individual's character. And there's a great quote. It's by John Wooden. He was a UCLA basketball coach for years. And I might butcher it here, but he essentially said, if someone who didn't watch the game shouldn't be able to tell whether you outscored your opponents or the opponents outscored you based on your actions.
Yeah.
It's just a testament to your character. So like if you
Yep.
go 0 for 4, no one should be able to tell whether you, after the game, that is signing autographs for our case in Banana Ball, whether you won, lost, 0 for 4 for 4, like that's just a testament to your character being consistent that way. And it's hard. I know it's
Yeah.
hard, but that's a super important
Yeah.
piece.
That's awesome. And even now, like in college, like having a bad game, it's when your family's coming and you're going out to eat with your family. Like I've had times where it's so hard for me to be like, I gotta lock in here. Like I don't get to see my family that often. Like they're here for the weekend. Like let's do it for them. And I think that's really cool that it's not like it's not different. You know what I mean? Like we're still playing the same game. You still want to win. You're still competitive, and you still want to play well. And just taking it a different way instead of making it such a big deal. Like it was all about baseball. It was all about my performance. Like you're seeing the bigger picture, and it's taken me a little bit to see that too, and just to really appreciate the people that are supporting you and the people that the lasting impression that you leave on these kids that come up to you and these families. Like that's super important.
Right.
And
That
I
lasts way
probably
longer. That lasts way longer. The
yeah
impact that you had after the game, the interaction you had with some kids or families, whatever it is, will last way longer.
yep
Memories there than versus them watching you do well in the field.
yep you're exactly right. I probably should ask you this a little bit earlier, but I wanted to know the backstory. How did you get the nickname Sunshine?
Oh yeah. So teammate of mine's dad, when I was younger, 9 or 10 years old, thought I looked like the quarterback from Remember the Titans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
sunshine,
Yeah.
sunshine. So I I got the nickname then, and it's funny, the name didn't really stick in high school or in college, but in the summer leagues of high school and in college, it always stuck. And
Wow.
stuck. It always stuck.
Yeah.
And the I always trained with I had like a club travel ball team, and the nickname that was where I got the nickname originally when I was much younger, going all the way up. Either someone that I played with in those travel teams was on the new team, and the nickname get kind of carried over. But in high school and college, never stuck. But then, man, it just made too much sense to continue it on for Banana Ball. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's awesome. Well, that's all I got for you. If you got anything else to say, any final message that you're gonna leave with anyone who's watching, I mean, you got it.
Well, I only know my own experience and what I've heard from others, but putting your identity not in what you do. It's just this. It's not who you are. It's what you do.
Yeah.
And I've had to, I think, relearn a few lessons like over with the identity thing. And
Yeah.
in Banana Ball becomes so apparent because it's so shiny, it's so new. It's such a great opportunity to brand yourself and to grow to grow and to grow an organization that is growing so
Yes.
fast. You can hold on to it too tight.
Yeah.
And that I think will hinder performance and how you're perceived versus just, man, just be who you are. It's just something that you get to do. It's not who you are. And I think there's a lot of wisdom in that, not just for banana ball, but for a lot of other things too. Like
Yeah.
eventually I would like to have a family, like have kids and everything. And I want to make sure I do the best I can at my job, understand that's not who I am. So
Yes.
that's a kind of like a reminder for myself in 5, 10 years to look back at
Yeah.
this and be like, hey, like check yourself. So
Right.
that's
Yeah.
my
That's
last
super
thoughts.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think too, I mean, that's so important. And I don't want anyone who's listening to kind of just like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, cool. Like really take that in. Like that's so important to learn. It's not, it's not, this is not who you are. Like you are not just sunshine or just the unicycle guy. Like you're Jonathan Luders. Like you're a Christian. Yeah, like
Jolly God.
and yeah, exactly. So, but that's awesome, man. And that's all I got. So, thank you all for
Cool.
watching. Thank you all for watching this episode, and we'll see y'all next week.